The Southgate House, we have all come to know and love, is one of Greater Cincinnati's premier music venues, officially closed its doors on January 1st, 2012, leaving behind a legacy that will remain within the hearts and minds of the community forever. Many acclaimed performances have graced the three stages of the Southgate House over the years, including the White Stripes, the Black Keys, Drive-By Truckers, Modest Mouse, and They Might Be Giants. On top of being host to a number of big-name national acts, the Southgate House has also served as a pivotal community landmark, booking thousands of local acts and events. Thanks to owner Ross Raleigh's dedicated support of the humanities, the Southgate House has found a place at the heart of Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky's entertainment scene, and is credited for being the birthplace of many emerging bands in the area. Standing for nearly 200 years, the Southgate House has a fascinating history, and was, in fact, added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1977. Throughout this documentary, we will be taking a look back at the Old Southgate House and everything that made it so special. We will examine the venue's extravagant history.
John would grow up to be a military general and later the inventor of the Thompson submachine gun, more commonly known as the Tommy gun.
The allure of the establishment.
It's an environment and a culture that is unparalleled in its support for original art and original music.
And its impact on the community.
You're part of a club when you play here. Yeah. Whether you know it or not, you are.
I feel like I really owe my music career to Southgate House because I've been playing there since I was 16.
There's never been a place that has captured the heart of what I believe music is all about. That's the Southgate House.
Now, January 2nd, the Southgate House. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Santa Claus never came in this town and never be the same. Go down singing the Southgate House never break in its walls. After 30 years of music.
Prior to its role as one of Greater Cincinnati's finest venues, the Southgate House provided an elegant atmosphere responsible for entertaining some of the region's most prominent political players. Statesmen such as Henry Clay, James K. Polk, Zachary Taylor, and Abraham Lincoln have all been guests at the Southgate House. But where did it all begin? Back in 1814, the streets of Newport, Kentucky were bustling with all the activity of a major pioneer settlement. The town was home to the Newport Military Barracks, as well as a meeting ground to an assembly of diverse businessmen and politicians. Among them was Kentucky State Representative Richard Southgate. Southgate was a military man, as well as a local merchant and a prominent silk manufacturer. He decided to expand upon the log cabin structure that once sat where the grand residence sits now. Ever the shrewd businessman, Southgate sought to save money in the construction of the elegant mansion by enlisting the resources of a group of British prisoners from the War of 1812.
Well, the history of the Southgate House always fascinated Raleigh, and he really sought to preserve that history. The house saw many owners prior to Raleigh. And as a matter of fact, while it was still occupied by its namesake, Abraham Lincoln stayed there. Before he was president, he was a lawyer with political ambitions. But neither Southgate nor Lincoln were abolitionists at the time. But legend has it that they were both sympathetic to the cause. In fact, Raleigh believes that the compassionate slave owners of Uncle Tom's Cabin were based on Richard Southgate. And Southgate was actually good friends with Harriet Beecher Stowe and her husband. Richard Southgate passed the house on to his daughter Frances Mary Taliaferro, who in turn passed it on to her daughter Julia Maria Taliaferro Thompson in 1869. Julia gave birth to John Taliaferro Thompson in 1860. John would grow up to be a military general and later the inventor of the Thompson submachine gun, more commonly known as the Tommy gun, which is the official icon of the Southgate House as we know it today.
Well, the Tommy gun, I mean, that's a classic, isn't it?
This is the baddest motherfucker I've ever seen.
Well, I think ironically, the guy that invented it didn't really think it was that great at all once it got taken over by the gangsters, because he was kind of against the fact that his beautiful invention had turned to crime instead of great military importance.
He created it after World War I because he wanted a more rapid-firing rifle.
Being in a band that does primarily Irish American songs, we do have a special place in our heart for the inventor of the Tommy gun.
The Tommy gun, oh my gosh!
Are you talking about this shot?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think it's pretty neat that that the Tommy gun comes out of Newport culture, because Newport is a really seedy area for a really long time and has quite a gangster kind of history. But if we're talking about the Southgate House, frankly, I'd rather be doing the shot.
The Tommy gun is also a popular drink.
And now, how to make the Tommy gun! Hello there, sweet cheeks. Do you work at a popular watering hole in Newport, Kentucky? Because if so, you may hear something like this. I'd like a Tommy gun, please. Don't get caught saying, I don't believe I know that one, because I'm here to help. Go down to the local speakeasy and pick up a bottle of everyone's favorite Irish whiskey, Jameson. Yum! Pour the Jameson Irish whiskey into a cup. Go to the nearest icebox and grab yourself a jar of pickles. But don't try to open the pickles by yourself, you crazy broad, because you can't do it. You got noodles for arms, you hear me? It is physically impossible for any woman to open a jar of pickles. Instead, get a man to do it for you. A real man, that is. Pour it into a different cup than the cup you used to pour the whiskey into earlier. Proudly serve both cups to the eager patron. To consume the Tommy gun, start with the Irish whiskey. Proudly proclaim, bang! Repeat with the pickle juice. Bang!
Warning, side effects of the Tommy gun might include sudden drastic changes in mood, random sporadic dancing, lower blood glucose levels, impaired hand-eye coordination, general satisfaction with life, frequent urination, meaningless philosophical breakthroughs, friendliness towards strangers, impromptu slumber, increased tobacco use, brutal, uninhibited honesty with your peers and loved ones, drunk dialing and or drunk texting, unexplained cravings for Waffle House hash browns, feelings of invincibility, and random acts of unprovoked violence.
It's this guy. What's up, man? How you doing? Why are you doing this?